some things ready here. I'm trying to bring this up on my iPad so I can see if anybody's talking. Display. Turn this off. So I've got this cover song I'm working on here, and I started learning this song a while back before this kind of started, but it still seemed kind of appropriate. It's Society by Eddie Vedder. It's from the soundtrack for the movie Into the Wild, which I love that movie, and so I learned that song, and then decided to produce a cover, and I figured I might as well. I'm bored. Some people have been asking me about live streaming, and I don't really play solo. I'm not that kind of guy. Much more an engineer than a musician, really, I guess. But anyway, so Society by Eddie Vedder. I want to call it D major, although it could be said B minor, but either way, they're modes, so B minor, D major, either way. Because it seems like the verses start out with a strong D, but the whole song starts off with a B minor, and there's a lot of B minor in this song, which is like the sixth of the D. But anyway, so like one of the first things I like to do is his song doesn't have any drums. It's acoustic guitar, vocals. There's some backing vocals and like a second guitar for like the guitar solo, all acoustic. So it's pretty basic production, but I'm going to add drums and bass and some organ to it, and we'll go through that here. First, I think it's helpful for me to always get the drums going. With this, I just want to use a simple train beat. It's going to start off with like just some kicks and stuff, but we'll start with, let's get this going here. I'm using Logic, obviously, right? Instrument drums. Steven Slate has a free version of their Steven Slate drums, I think it's called. But you can go to their website and download this. But right now we're going to add a kit. I'm just going to use this dry and tight here. A lot of my cover song productions are just fun for me, so it doesn't really matter. When I'm working on songs for the band or whatever, I don't worry about the drums too much because they're all going to be replaced by instruments. And then it's just me, I'm just having fun, so I don't stress too much on details. But this kit's still loading up here. But we can start programming this. So I always like to start my productions with a blank one here that gives us time for like a count in. And let's see, get some hi-hats. Whoa, look at that long old hi-hat there. We'll shorten him up there. So we get 1, 2. I think we should go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there it is. So here I want to just put kicks in there. I want to do like, I want the drum beat to be kind of sparse until we hit this verse. So let's stick some of those in there. Oh, we're on C2. I meant to be C1. Let's put these at the quarters. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, it's working. And then let's put some hi-hats in there. I want to try it with like doubling this up and see how that does. Yeah, let's go with that. Well, this track's a little loud. Let's bring that down. Let's bring that up a little bit in the mix here too.
Mystery to me. We have agreed.
Alright, so here we So there, I just copied that one section out. Going into the verse, I want a little pop. So we go boom boom chick right before that verse kicks in. Should be something like that, I think. Yep. Okay, now we're gonna actually start that train beat. So let's go down to C1 here. We'll put these kicks in on the quarters. And we're gonna put the
mystery to me.
So there we have our main. Let's mute out this. Oh, that's for later. Alright, so let's do this train. Those ones a little bit. I'm gonna make these notes a little bit harder so that there's more room for the ghost notes in there. And when I do that, I'm not really good at train beat, but when I do that, I tend to click the pedal on the hi-hat when I hit the snare. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in here. This is the pedal hit. That's the close hi-hat, pedal, and then the open, right? So let's put these, I want to put the pedals on the snares. This one here, we're gonna make this this region here a different color, because this one I'm going to put. Well, before I do that, I'm going to copy it out. I'm gonna make this one a different color, because this is gonna be the one that has a crash in the beginning. Let's see if we can find a decent crash here. Hey, Dad. I'm only kind of half paying paying attention to my enunciation. I didn't put teeth in, so I got my toothless accent. But, where was I? Oh, I was gonna put a crash in this beat here. Kind of like that one there. But I don't need them to hit it quite so hard. So velocity is how hard that thing's being hit. So it makes it louder. In some cases, like this one here, it also changes the sample. So it, blah blah blah. Let's see how that. And so I'm going to use this to fill out the verse here. Like I said, I'm not killing myself with this yet. In the beginning, I always do a very basic, and then I'll go back and touch things up after I put the rest of the instruments in there. So, you know what would barely be easy is if I take all of these. Oh, that was the wrong button to push, huh? So I'm just going to, now I'm going to Command R, repeat the, I don't know, how many of those do I need? Give me like 6 of those. Almost. I don't remember exactly where this is going to end. See, there's a little slowdown at the end. So this is probably about right. Probably need one more crash there at the end. So just to make things simple for the moment, I'm going to take these regions with the crash in it and put them at the beginning of each of my sections. So before I went online, I obviously downloaded the song, put it into my section. I marked out these sections here so that I wouldn't have to save some of your guys' time, because that's not really the point of this. I also tightened this track up to the click a little bit, and originally it was like 81 BPMs, and it plays around with it, but I tightened it up and it may sound a little weird in places, but it's perfect timing instead of a good performance, which is what I need for copying it. And it's just reference. It's not going to be in the, but this helps me know where I'm at. So I'm just going to put these at all these sections. And this is like chorus 4 times. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 bars of chorus, crash. 1, 2, 4 bars of chorus, crash. 1, 2, 3, 4 bars of chorus, crash. 1, 2. I don't know, is that right? Let's see.
Society, you're a crazy breed. I hope you're not lonely without me. Society, crazy indeed. Crazy indeed. I hope you're not lonely without me.
Yep. So I want to put one crash in here. So I take that same beat, zoom over there, and we're going to select all of these, delete those. So we just got a crash there at the end. I should probably leave that kick there. Let's give that kick a little bit more oomph. So I'm probably going to play around with those ghost notes on that train beat, because it's not work. I don't really hear them so much. But anyway, that beat gets us started. I like to name my tracks before I forget. So that's our drums. Let's do some bass. So I'm going to create another software instrument track here. I've got a really cool bass plugin called Trillion. It's pretty nice. I know I'm a bass player, and I'm going to be programming some bass here, but the point is kind of the production of it, not my playing of it. And Trillion has a cool, good, pretty decent sounding acoustic, like upright bass. So I'm gonna load that up. Like a lot of engineering is waiting for bars to fill up. So it's going, I think it's here, acoustic. acoustic upright. Let's just put this one here. Like I said, it's not all that important. And you can see it's loading up samples. So the first bar is our count in. So this second bar here, we're going to start with B, right? I can't remember where basses start at. And I've got no sounds. It's pretty great. There we go. As a musician, I guess we're also hoping bars will fill up and then glasses will empty. Not much a drinker myself. Drink lots of coffee. But, you know, give me a free drink, I'll drink that sucker. So let's call this the bottom of the bass. So let's go. So like with this bass here, I'm going to do a lot of just root fifth. I think in the chorus we may walk through some thirds, depending on how I feel when we get there. So on the bass guitar, if you're hitting a B, your fifth is your what's that? F sharp, right? Yeah. Which is right here. I want to loop this real quick, and those are too short, so I need background. Let's put another one there, another one here. So that gives you that familiar like country bass line that. And to give it a little character, we're gonna stick this A in there. Yeah. So then we're just gonna copy that out. These 4 bars of this intro, they're all B minor, and then the verse we're gonna go into a D. So I'm just gonna copy this, all right? So I'm gonna make this a new color because this helps me later. That sounds like a chop. Well, there is an MP3 running behind here that I'm using as a reference to create my production over the top, Gavin. So anyway, let's make this sucker. Actually, it goes D and then A. So we're gonna move this to D, and the fifth of D is A. So this measure here is D and then A. So we're going to start with D. We put our A here. The fifth of A is E. I don't know where this is going to go yet. And like, I really don't like this, so we're going to have to figure something out. What if we put that C in there? Nope. What if we put an E in there? Ah. I don't like that E. So I don't have my bass in my hand, so I'm just gonna skip that note for right now. So we're gonna
It's a mystery to me. It's a mystery to me. It's a mystery to me.
So that went D to A, and then we're gonna go back to D. So I put this A back in there, and let's get a different color. This one's gonna be straight D. Yay, huh? I don't know why I do that. Let's copy this. Oh, I was wrong. So this is gonna be D. And it should go to A, yeah.
It's a mystery to me. We have agreed.
It stays. Why do I keep doing that? Keep hitting the wrong button over there. So we're gonna stay on D here. I can't.
We have agreed. Which we have agreed.
Yeah, it goes to G halfway through this bar. So we'll grab this D and G. And so the fifth of G is D. But like on a regular guitar, we wouldn't be able to hit that D. It'd be too low. So we're gonna go up to the D. You can save your jokes.
Which we have agreed. We have agreed. Which we have agreed.
Something's not right.
We have agreed. Which we have agreed. It's a mystery to me. We have agreed. Which we have agreed.
Yeah, okay. This next one is A. So we grab this.
It's a mystery to me. We have agreed. Which we have agreed.
Did I ever move this one to G? Yeah, I did. This one's got to go to A. Get out of my way. Oh, I thought I heard somebody coming. Nope. I don't know where this one goes yet. We'll get rid of this sucker. Come on. Go. Computer's being weird.
Which we have agreed. You think
And then we're going to go to G. So let's put this F sharp walking thing in there.
you think
It's going to go G-A. So it's going to be real easy.
you think you have to want.
So we got to go up with this D, huh?
You think you have to want more than you need. We have agreed. Which we have agreed. You think you have to want more than you need.
There's our B. What is that? It's F sharp. F sharp. we're going to go to the G. So F sharp. This one, go up to the D.
Do you have it all? Do you have it all? You won't be free.
So these next ones are going to be B's. This isn't right. This is A. This should be here on E. Feel free to call me out on things that I miss up.
Do you have it all? You won't be.
So I'm just going to go steal one of these B's from the beginning. So where should we walk this up to that B?
Do you have it all? You won't be. Do you have it all? You won't be free. Do you have it all? You won't be free. Do you
All right.
be free? Society.
Now we're at the G again. I forgot to color all those. Right? But we're almost done here anyway, so. So I don't know that I want to walk that up to there. Well, that's an A. Because this next one is going to be a G. Which goes up to the D.
You're crazy breed.
So what we're going to do really is then take all this and we're just going to color all this, that yellow, so that we know that that's the verse. So there's our, this is a G, right? And then we're going to go to the D. Which is kind of just like flip these around, only like the second one only goes to the A.
You're crazy breed.
So here, I don't like to go D, D, right? So we're gonna go B, C, D.
You're crazy breed. I hope you're not lonely.
Like, oh, okay, this is, we're gonna go to A. Where are we at? D. Let's drop that to A. And it should be going down to E. Yeah. So.
You're crazy breed. You're crazy breed. You're crazy breed. I hope you're not lonely. D or any on that A. I'm just gonna leave that as is. Yeah, I'm gonna maybe take out
these walks and just to get us through this. All right, so we went G, D, A, and we need a B. So I'm just gonna go snag that B from the beginning again. I see a bunch of people over there watching, but I'm not really a social guy. I just like to make music.
You're crazy.
I deleted the wrong something here. All right, so let's take a look at that.
You're crazy breed. I hope you're not lonely without me.
So that brings us
When you want.
to the end of the chorus, and we're just gonna get to the verse again. So to speed this along, we're gonna do that there, and then we're gonna do the chorus twice. But the first time it only plays that B for one measure. So we're gonna snag this, put it there, and then we're gonna snag all of them and put it right there. Which brings us to the solo, which plays the verse and then the chorus behind what the lead guitar is doing. Only it doesn't do as many B's in there. You see, like he holds the B minor when he's transitioning between parts. When he stays on a part, he doesn't necessarily hold it as long. You see how it went one over here? That's that extra B. So this, I call it the second half, but it's not even the second part, I guess, because it's not as many bars. But he plays the chorus behind that. So we're gonna go snag a chorus, a single chorus, and we'll put it right there. And see how it kind of brings us back to verse 3 again. So let's go snag verse 2, which was really just verse 1, and put it right there. Wow, it lines up. So the outro is repeating the chorus a bunch of times until it, somewhere in there, it switches to just B. It might be this where I have it marked the outro. I don't remember. Well, let's see. So let's go get a chorus. And what we're going to do is we're going to just grab this 5. Even though we're going to cut one of these B's off, what we can do is just overlap them and make that easy. So there we go. And grab that one and just overlap it. So we're deleting that one. Let's see what we got.
Crazy Andy. Hope you're not lonely.
Oh yeah, it hangs on the A on this last one. So we just need like the B there, just like we did. And let's just stretch it out, give it some length. Yay. Just like my OCD is gonna make me feel better if I make this outro a different color. And I really should make the intro the same color as that, so just makes me feel good. So I'll take this, call this bass, and then let's put like an organ in here. So give me a software instrument. Like normally I would also just record the organ, but I'm not gonna do that today. This is Logic. They got this vintage B3 organ here, which is pretty good. This Soul organ preset gets me pretty close. I like a little, hey Sean, I like a little grit on there. So they create these, every time you create stuff, there's probably something for that. It creates its own reverb stuff, and I don't care for theirs. So I gotta go kill these buses. No send. No send. And then create these or delete these reverb channels I created. All right. See, I have my own custom reverbs. I'm gonna remove these saturations on these ones. I use basically like a plate and a chamber, and I use the same thing on every project. I maybe change some of the pre-delay and decay settings, but I use a plate and a chamber on like everything I do, and I just adjust those per track as necessary. Like for me, like a plate is kind of tonish, and it seems to stretch the sound in time, like smear it time wise, whereas the chamber creates space, and I feel like it kind of smears it width wise, if that makes any sense. And I don't even know if that's accurate. That's just how I think about it and how I work. And that's how a lot of audio engineering is. So anyway, this organ. I'm trying to decide if I want the organ to start in the solo intro or not. We'll do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this. This region is the whole length. Well, it's not going to be a big deal in this one. The length of my section. Instead of doing it bar by bar, I'm going to do it by section. So this one here, we're just playing a B minor. I got to figure out what octave I want to play this at. Well, I guess I'm not playing that one. I kind of like the low one. We can move it later, so let's just deal with this low one here. Give us a B. And we need to create a B minor. So we'll add the B, we'll add the third. And then we're going to go add the fifth. Oh, we missed there. That seems really hard. I'm going to bring this lower. It's an organ, so I think the velocity in this section is basically just going to be controlling volume, because there is no, like, it's not like organ's not like a piano. It's like an on-off switch. There's not really a velocity dependent articulations. I don't know if that's the word, right? So let's see how this. See, I'm not sure I'm going to keep that in there. Let's see what happens if we raise this an octave. Transpose plus 12 semitones. I know you can also do that up here, but I like to see it reflected in the region, not just like the other notes with a plus 12 on the top. I like to see right where those notes are. I don't know, that octave seems a little better, I think. Then, so let's create our region for this one. Remember, we're going to do this whole thing here, and we'll see why at the end. Well, I guess, like, you know what, we could create this in sections, and then we will edit it. We're going to end up with a solid region here, and I'll explain that later. Because part of it is that, like, when you're playing keyboard, you don't necessarily have to lift all your fingers up. You know what I mean? If a note is shared between two chords, you can just keep using that note. You could, like, a chord is like triads are basically three notes, and you can play those three notes anywhere, really. Like, if we're playing like the B minor is a B, D, and F sharp, the bottom note could be an F sharp, the middle note could be a D, and that would be kind of weird, huh? If you take the B off the bottom and put it at the top, that's your first inversion. So you'd have D, F sharp, and B. It's still a B minor chord, just inverted. So if you play around with these, you'll find that you have to move your hands way less than if you're doing like that, the claw. So like I start out with like the claw, and then I'll figure out like where I can save notes. I'm not much of a on-the-fly player. I'm a sit down, figure it out, and practice it until your fingers are doing it by itself kind of guy. So our first chord here anyway is going to be D. Get back to it, which is this one. And I don't want 4 measures of D. I really only want half a measure, because this first one switches to A, remember? So we got D, get the F sharp and an A. And then we're going to go to A. A we'll put right here. So A is going to be, the A is A, C sharp, and E. And then we're going to go back to D. Yeah. So we go D, A, D, D. So this is going to stay D, so we're just going to carry it out. And then we're going to stay D, but for this instance, I wanted to, I'll explain that. I wanted to hit those notes again. I want that thing to be there. I don't want it to just smooth through there. This one I want to hit in there. So I'm going to reactivate the chords. You'll see what I mean, like right here, as we move to this, you don't hear, as we move through these chords here, there's no accent here. It's just held, and this held, sustained over this. But I want to hear that right here. So we get, you hear right there, it goes pong again. So yeah, halfway through this one, we're gonna turn to G. And like right now, I'm just putting in the basic triads, right? So triads, right? It's been a while since I've been in school, so I hope I'm using the right words, but who knows? So we're at G, GBD, GBD. I got the GBDBs. G, whoa, B, and this is gonna be a high one, I guess, right there. What happened? I should go down to the G, not up. So let's drop that an octave. Oh wow, I'm sorry about that. I went up an octave. I need to go down one more. Sounds all right. I went down to G. Is that right? And then we go to A. This is A, C sharp, and E. That's what it is, huh? This is off. Because in the G chord, we should have G, B, and D. There's where it is. I know I was hearing something there. Why didn't anybody tell me? And this B is going to hold for two measures. And then we're going to go to the G. And that's just right here, right? That's D. Ah. Yeah. Let's grab this G. And then we're going to do A. And then we're going to do a B. deletes that again. So we're just going to take this whole thing here and go.
Do you have it all? You won't be free.
And then there's 2 measures of B at the end of that. So alright, so here's something that we now can do. Alright, so to smooth this out a little bit, so these this D and this G, right? You can see like this is a G, right? This is a G, this is a G. So let's move this up 12 semitones. Huh, that was an A. God, I'm horrible. And let's move this up 12 semitones. So we're really getting like the second inversion there. But now, like you see, I don't want to move my fingers a whole lot. If you look at how we were before, you know, this 3 claw here had to move, right? But now, come on. We're going to move those up. Redo transpose. So that now, like, see, these fingers aren't moving very far. And this one isn't even moving at all. So what we can do is delete this note. So we're just going to hold our finger there. So when looking at this going from D to G, it's just these 2 finger moves, and really just barely, right? But here. So let's see what happens if we move this one up an octave. See? These are more in line. We don't want these to move very far. This is really the key. So this is probably the first inversion, probably works really well here. Alright, so let's see about inverting this. Let's move this up an octave. Right there. Where does this one go? See, that's moving this finger there, but this finger moving there, and that finger moving there. I don't know. Let's see. So that gives us like the verse organ, and we can just fill this out now, right? So over here we have to trim this B back a measure, and let's see, that's the chorus there. We need an original verse to take over to here. You know, like this part here can really just go because those are the same. So let me grab these. We'll go colors. Let me just make those yellow. Yay. So now we gotta build this chorus. So give me an empty region. Switch that out. Alright, so we need to start with our D. I want to start with the same D that I started with last time, which is right there, D3. So D. And these are measures. So let's see, we got D, F sharp, A. The chorus starts with G. Nobody's calling me out on this stuff here, so. Although. feels weird going like down. I'm on the wrong octave is why. So that's right, because I had to go to G. What happens if we go up with this one? Like that, yeah. Can't decide where to put this one. I'll just put it there and then we'll figure it out later. So I need to go put this D in. And then we're going to go to A. And then up to B. And remember that the B is minor, so let's move that third. And remember, this holds for that, yeah? Alright. So now, we'll make this the same color as that. So, we can copy this over here. And remember this one here, we want to cut off this B a little bit. Well, a little bit, a measure anyway, right? We'll cut the end off this region. Grab this whole chorus, put it there. Grab this whole chorus and put it there. Then we got this M part where we got a bunch of short choruses. And then remember this last one doesn't hit the B, it holds the A for a while. I don't know, it seems like there's got to be a better way for this. This seems... Let's go back to this chorus here. I think that kind of gets us, right? Yeah, and then so let's get a fairly static mix on this thing. So I have like more stuff to mix in here, so right now I'm just going to put a limiter on it to make it loud, because what I'm maybe hoping some other people will contribute some stuff, especially the if somebody wants to play this guitar solo that's in here, that would be great. I don't care what you play it on, right? Just try to make it sound decent. I don't know. So I'm going to reduce this out below -3. Get to a loud part of the song here. Right here. So now let's give it some reverb on stuff. I just always do the same thing, so blah blah blah. I just like the drum, we'll give it a little bit of plate. I really just like to put plate on the snare, but I don't feel like routing that individually at the moment. But we'll give it a little chamber, so it sounds like we're in a room, right? Whoa! Go ahead and see if we can do some mixing here on this a little bit. So I see your your thing there. You want to take a shot on a lead for this song? Yeah, that I mean, should be fine. So I figure like I'll just like if anybody wants to put anything on here, I'll just send it out and uh, get back what I get back and try to mix it all together. Like if I get like multiple vocalists, we'll just mix it. Everybody taking turns. I think it would be great for everybody like do this like coming together like all by themselves. Also because of like how the what the song is about. If you're into that, it's about getting stepping away from society, which like this is a horrible situation we find ourselves in, but I hear music in the headphones, but not out of them. It's weird. But like I think it's like that saying like we didn't ask for this room or this music, but since we're here, let's dance. So like while we're here, you might as well make what you can out of it. And like while you may be missing some people out there, there's some people probably real close to you that probably deserve some of your time and attention. I've been digging homeschooling the kids. Gives me something excuse to interact in their lives. So, but anyway, back to this thing. I think that what I have right here is probably reasonable enough for a demo, except like when I was messing with this earlier, like a couple weeks ago, I recorded a guitar track to it, just acoustic guitar with a microphone. I'm not great, and since then I was gonna do that for you live, but my acoustic guitar strings have finally gone out after only like 6 years. I don't know, cheap strings, I guess. So I'm not gonna record those today, but I do have this chintzy version I did before, right here. Yay! You can see it's all chopped up because I don't care. This isn't about a performance. This is about creating a cover. So I forgot to mix those in. So it's. I'm really not used to mixing with headphones. It's fucking weird. I mean, it is extremely weird. See what I can do without the mix. Sounds like there's some compression on the master. Pretty heavy. Real quick here, let's see what I'm gonna mess around with this and
Think you have to want more than you need. Until you have it all, you won't be free. Society, you're a crazy breed. I hope you're not lonely without me. Want more than you have, you think you need. And when you think more than you want, your thoughts begin to bleed. I need find a bigger place. 'Cause when you have more than you think, you need more space. Society, you're crazy free. I hope you're not lonely without me. Society, crazy indeed. I hope you're not lonely without me. There's no thinking more, less is more. But if less is more, how you keep in score? It means for every point you make, your level drops. Kinda like you're starting from the top. You can't do that. Society, you're a crazy breed. I hope you're not lonely without me. Society, crazy indeed. I hope you're not lonely without me. Society, have mercy on me. I hope you're not angry if I disagree. Society, crazy indeed. Hope you're not lonely without me.
All right, so there's one more thing here. I want to just drag this out, and I want to make this go longer. And so, like, we're at measure 82 here. I want to look at my mixer. I want to create a track for my master. I want to automate that sucker so that from here. Oh, I'm in flex time. Let's go to automation. Automation. Click it. Clear point there. Then I want this to be gone by 82, right? Let's see how that goes. That's too long. That's too long. Let's go 81. You gotta start it from the beginning of that MIDI. We'll just call it good right there for now. So let's get out of automation. We want to take this, cut that sucker, and we want to shorten those notes. Delete the extra. So that gives us, this is our song. Right here. Oh, right there, around there. I'll keep hitting tab instead of shift. Put a cycle on those things. So this is what I'll send out to people. Just hit me up, and I will create audio files out of all these because I see that like Don Stone wants to try to contribute and he has Logic, but like I don't know if you have Trillion plugin or Slate stuff, and I also use a lot of Slate digital plugins. So we never put reverb on that guitar. I don't care right at the moment. So just in case like you don't have a lot of the things that I have, I can either, what I'll do is I'll produce an MP3 of the overall mix. Well, let's see. I'll create a wave of the overall mix, wave of each individual instrument, and a Logic session. I'll create a folder in like my Google Drive, and then I can get that for people to download, and then send it back to me. You know, just record your stuff however you do it, and then solo out your stuff and send it to me. So as far as like working together on this, when sending me tracks, some EQ and compression is fine, but I would rather do all the reverb, unless it's a effect reverb. Any like mixing type reverb, especially on vocals, let me go ahead and handle that so that I can use a congruent reverb across all the channels. Just makes it easier that way. So unless it's like a reverb for effect, which I don't know if this song calls for that really a lot, then go ahead. But I prefer to get things dry as possible, obviously, right? But I understand that people want to do their thing, so yeah, just hit me up. If this is, forget some people, we'll maybe do another one, because I'm into all kinds of music. This is a pretty mellow song for me, which is weird. I'm more into like metal, and I do a lot of rap covers. But yeah, so see how that works. Here you can see all my different screens, and here's where we go into the Twilight Zone. Thank you all so much.